Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2. Good. All right. Check. Mic check. Okay, Ted. You're going to be right here. Uh, okay. Got to get another cable real quick. You already have, if you go to the stream, you should already have it up. I have to get another cable for it. Check the camera. this cable to that box down, not this cable. I need that connected on there real quick. I'm on. Yeah, no, I'm gonna run it directly to that gray box down there that's open. The gray box outside. That plug in the one that you put in the fire cable. Yeah. That need to go on the outside. This other end go to the camera. Take it out your way.
Oh, you good. Feel some room here. And come grab that in, make sure it doesn't pull something. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying.
You can unplug that up here. You unplug that out.
Therefore, make sure. Yeah, man, keep adding stuff. So they think it's cool and nothing wrong, man. All right, here we go. Good afternoon, Bulldog faithful. Welcome to Lewis Cruz Physical Education Complex on the beautiful campus of Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University. Today, the Bulldogs will take on Bulldogs.
You have the second camera.
Good afternoon, I'm Ted Dixie, your play-by-play announcer, along with soon-to-be graduate
Yeah, mic's
and
on.
professional broadcaster,
Yeah, okay, they can mute right now.
Mr. Chauncey Saunders.
Go ahead and mute your mic.
Say thank you, Ted. Happy to have you, Chauncey.
Go ahead and mute your mic.
Good afternoon, Bulldog faithful. Welcome to the Lewis Cruz Physical Education Complex on the beautiful campus of Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University. I'm Ted Dixie, your play-by-play announcer, along with Chauncey Sanders, our color analyst. He does play-by-play for Bulldog basketball. The game has started. Second down play has just run. The Bulldogs will get it out to the 31-yard line. This is the spring maroon and white game. Chauncey, thank you for coming on today.
Always a pleasure to be with you, of course, Ted. Feels kind of weird being on the color side of things during the basketball season, but I am elated, of course, to be joined alongside you.
And happy to be here. Third down for the Bulldog the Bulldog white team. We have two teams, two full, complete teams. Xavier Langford will hand it off to one of our running backs, and as soon as we can find out who that is, we'll let you know. The offense for the white is going to be starting at quarterback is number 16, Xavier Langford, the 6'2", 195-pound quarterback from Pelham, Alabama, who won, Chauncey tells us.
That's right.
The last game of the season on a play, 1st and 10. Langford looks right, doesn't have anyone. He goes left. He's got a receiver wide open. That's number 6, Keenan Hambrick.
What a nice catch there by Hambrick. Hambrick had an awesome season for the Bulldogs as well last season, Ted, as he was able to reel in 370 total yards as well as 2 touchdowns.
Langford's pass is complete. They will mark it out of bounds at the 34-yard line of the Maroon. 1st and 10, Langford 1 for 1 on his passes. He will now hand it off, looking for running room. On the far side will be number 30, DeVarrell Moffitt. Moffitt has nowhere to go. Matter of fact, he's going to lose a yard on the play.
Ted, we're going to be looking now on the field for both teams here, as it was a great running back room last season. They were able to pick up and bolster that running back room over that last spring season, and it showed during the season. They stepped it up big time. They were last in the 2021 football season in the SWAC in total rushing yards, and they were able to bump it up to one of the top running back rooms in the conference.
2nd down and 11 from the 36-yard line. Maroon goes to white. Handoff again. Ooh, good running on the inside. Nifty back and forth by number 30, Moffitt. Moffitt will pick up the yard he lost and then get 6 more. He's down to the 29-yard line, of the Maroon team. 3rd down and 4. We do have a SWAC officiating crew on hand today. We are playing under the lights. It's raining outside, but we have about 200 people here. Langford, play action pass, fakes left, goes left. Hambrick goes up and tries to make a play, but the ball is batted away by number 21 of the Maroon, Anthony Fielding, number 21, a redshirt freshman cornerback, 5'10", 175 pounds from Apopka, Florida.
And that's great defense there. Way to have that awareness on full display there on the field, as he was able to knock that pass away from Beeson.
2nd down. Looks like they've readjusted. No, it is now 3rd down for the Bulldog white. Langford on the diagonal formation. He's going to fake the handoff. He keeps it and runs left, looking for room. Langford will be run out of bounds, but that is enough for a 1st down for the white. Tervay Williams, number 17, a junior safety, 6'3", 210 pounds, out of Guthrie, Oklahoma, made the tackle, but it was too late. 1st down for the white.
Nice move there by Langford, as he has his awareness on another level now. We've been hearing that out of the quarterback coaches as well as the offensive side of the football for the Maroon and White, been speaking and praising the play of Langford over the spring season.
3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Langford now set back. He'll look, quick pass to Angel, the slant over the middle to Hambrick. Hambrick trying to get through 2 defenders. Fielding finally puts him on the ground, the 1-yard line. Hambrick came on in the season, nearly 400 yards receiving, but the big deal was his great play at the end of the season. Came on, nice transfer. We're happy to have him.
Absolutely, and you can see the connection between the quarterback and wide receiver on full display during this drive.
Handoff up the middle, and the touchdown goes to the Bulldogs. I know I'm blind. I'm trying to look and see who the running back was. It looks like number 25, Joshua Malone, 5'11", 190-pound running back out of Huntsville, Alabama.
That's right, homegrown kid, and we see this identity that the Bulldogs have been able to address, and it looks like they're finding it right here during the spring season, Ted, as last season it felt like we knew this team was a gunning, throwing first team, and now they adjusted with Eaglin being a part of that backfield, and we see it on full display now with the great back and forth of passing and rushing the football.
Some of the rules here today, we will not punt. We will kick the extra point here, it looks like, but the Bulldogs are going to go for 2. It's rainy. We don't want to take a chance on getting an injury. The kicker's slipping, so it does not look like we will see Victor Barbosa, the kicker from last season, who did not miss a PAT. We have a timeout on the field now.
That's right. Safety comes first out here. Last thing you want to do is have a gruesome, scary injury right before the fall season gets started.
So let's go back, Chauncey. We did not have a chance to do a pregame today. So some of the things that we thought about. Spring practice, folks, for those who don't know, it's really to install the schemes that your team are going to run. Plays on offense, plays on defense, and everyone has a base offense and a base defense, which means if nothing else goes wrong, you know where to set up just for that play.
That's right.
The other option we want to do today, or the other goal for in spring training, is that you get better every day. You don't want the coaches to say, nothing happened today, nothing miraculous, spectacular. They want to look at the film that evening and see, we taught him or said he had to correct this move last week or yesterday. Today he got better at it. And, of course, the Bulldogs need this. Got to find some leadership on offense. Bulldog White going for 2. Langford back to pass, looking over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Batted away. Batted away by the Bulldog defender, Maroon. Looks like number 24, Avion Rice, the true freshman, 6'1", 210 out of Fort Myers.
And I want to touch on what you just spoke on a second ago there, Ted, when you spoke about what we believe are the goals for this team. We heard Coach Maynard during the basketball season join during the halftime show and mentioned that every position is going to be a competition, and we're going to see that on full display today during this game.
Now, as practice has gone on, some of the names that you will hear you have not heard. Avion Rice, who in my opinion should have been all conference. Anytime a student athlete makes 3 plays in a row in a game, you have to say that they're good. And now the Maroon team being quarterbacked, if we can get the number, starting from the 25-yard line, it looks like Ashley Tucker Jr., the 3-star quarterback out of Los Angeles, California. He'll start with an empty backfield, 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. White's going to blitz. Tucker, quick release. Pass is behind his intended receiver. That's number 2.
But big expectations on this young quarterback from Los Angeles.
Terrell Gardner on the incomplete pass.
As we'll see both Gardner have a bigger role this season. The quarterback out of Los Angeles has a huge backing behind him. He's a tall glass of water in person, and I'm looking forward to see what he does during the spring and the summer leading up to the fall season.
Second down and 10 for the Maroon. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far. And this is the guy you want to see. Number 7, Donovan Eaglin with the carry. Postseason all-conference Southwestern Athletic Conference performer. Eaglin didn't even have 900 yards rushing, but his last 7 games, everyone in the world realized that that's probably the best running back in the conference.
That's right, Ted. He had so many people in that running back room that they all were able to do it by committee, but he finished the season 5th in the conference, averaging 79 yards per game.
3rd down and 8 as the White defense shifts. Keanis Bolware is coaching that unit, and, of course, the defensive coordinator of the Bulldogs, that's something that Coach Maynard wanted to see, and that's the defense to shift to try to confuse the quarterback. 3rd down and 8. Ashley Tucker Jr. back to pass. He's being pressured. Zarion Hayes, as usual, but Tucker throws it up and almost caught. One thing you can say about Tucker, he's not scared to let that thing fly. An incomplete pass intended for number 4, Cameron Young, redshirt sophomore, 5'9", 175 pounds from Mobile.
And, Ted, that's exactly what we want to see out of our quarterbacks, being able to stick in there and make those passes. That was a very catchable ball, and that's one thing I like to touch on with those West Coast quarterbacks. They're able to move out of the pocket and make those passes, as we saw several quarterbacks now going into the NFL draft from the West Coast, whether it's Bryce Young or as well as C.J. Stroud.
White now leads 6-0. That was the first offensive possession for the Maroon. The White, after the punt, will start from their 33-yard line, leading 6-0 on a gray overcast day here on Normals Hill. The lights are on. It's a big day on campus today. Lots of events going on. We've got people leaving the event center and coming here, but now the rain looks steady and strong. But you know what? Folks have umbrellas and rain gear.
And, Ted, we also can't forget to mention the baseball and softball game following this spring game after.
Langford will hand it off again. That's number 30 with the carry. Who's not? Oh, yeah, wrong roster. Vero Moffitt, redshirt sophomore running back. Another carry. Moffitt must be doing some work because he's getting a lot of work today. 2-yard picked up on the play up to the Bulldog 35-yard line. Second down and 7.
That's right, Ted. This running back room has a lot of expectations now heading into this upcoming season. You know, how will they follow up?
Ooh, and there you go right there, son. Number 5 for the Maroon with the tackle, a sack or tackle for loss, Darren Turner. They've got Turner listed here, but that's not who made that play. He's listed as a wide receiver. We'll get that.
No, it looks
cleared
like
up.
Ellis. It looks like Ellis there on that tackle out of Eastman, Georgia.
Jamarion Ellis, number 6, redshirt sophomore defensive end, 6 feet tall. Loss on the play back to the original line of scrimmage of the 33.
And how about that defensive line from the Maroon and White this past season, Ted? 23 sacks in 2022, and to put that in perspective, they only were able to get in the backfield 13 times in 21.
Langford with the keeper, and will find a lot of running room to the left side, but he'll go out to nearly the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Langford's strength is running the option. He knows he has to be a better quarterback as the Bulldog White will hurry up. Trip receiver to the near side, one to the far. Quick pass to the left side to Hambrick. Hambrick's going to push it over the 50, nearly run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Give him a pickup of 5, second down and 5.
How exciting was that, Ted? It was a short pass, but however, we were able to see a lot of excitement, and this connection from Langford and Hambrick is still building as we see.
Give him 7 yards on the play. Nah, we'll give him 6. We forgot our officials. Trip receivers to the far side. Hand off again to the inside. Good run left, and now cut it back right. Man, we got to keep up with his number. That kid is doing some work.
He's doing some work. He's going to work out here in the cold as if he's one of those Detroit General Motors workers over there with his work shirt on. He is doing damage.
Kenny Wilkins looks like number 20 on that carry. A junior running back, 5'11", out of Cleveland, Ohio. Good
That's right.
connection.
That's right.
Your homeboy.
216 is in the house. We had a great connection. As I saw his back plate said Cuyahoga, and I said, wait a second, where are you from?
2 receivers either side. Langford's going to keep it. He's on the right side over the 30, over the 25, and down at about the 21-yard line, but a flag comes out on the field on that side. Look for a holding call. And that's what the preliminary signal is going to be, holding against the White. Chauncey, we have to say we get a little break here. A fine job that you did in basketball season. Of course, you sat in for me in the Alabama A&M basketball review. You get a chance to tell the folks about that.
Oh, that was an amazing time. We'll save that. We're going to put that in our back pockets when we get a next break. That was amazing. That was a fun time.
10-yard penalty on the White. They'll be backed up to the 40-yard line of the Maroon. 1st down, and we'll call it 17. 2 receivers either side. Still in the backfield is number 20. Langford back to pass again. Quick pass over the middle, almost intercepted.
Tough play there on offense, but Ted, we got to point out that offensive line. Look how fast that line was able to get that push up front, and all of the defensive linemen were on the ground. That's something that we love to see right now during the spring, and hopefully it builds into the season.
Jamarion Green, number 9, redshirt senior safety, made the play out of South Bay, Florida. 2nd down again and 17 for the White. Trip receivers to the near side, tight end to the right. And then the backfield still is Wilkins. Langford back to pass again. Langford looking left. He's going to throw left. Throwing to Hambrick again. But Hambrick was out of bounds even before the ball was released. That combination is the same play that Hambrick made the play on the ball on that kept the drive alive against Texas Southern.
That's right. Just a tough play to make there with that sideline being an extra defender. Wasn't able to corral it. They'll go back and work on that.
3rd down now and 17 for the White. Langford still in the quarterback. Trip receivers to the near side, now to the far side. They'll send 1 receiver, take the tight end out of play. Wilkins still in running back. Wilkins is a big kid. He's about as big as Langford, and Langford's not small.
Right.
The size of the Bulldogs has increased this season. It's good to pay attention to that, and that means recruiting is picked up. Langford, one step. Now he'll hand it off again. Here's Wilkins at the 20, 35, at the 30. Wilkins turned a bad thing into something good.
He is churning. He's churning, and that's what we love to see out of this running back room, as we spoke on earlier on. It feels like running back coach Fred Ferrier. He does so much work for the Bulldogs with recruiting. He almost feels like he's one of the extra associate head coaches. But Coach Ferrier does a great job with recruiting this running back room in the last couple years. And I spoke on that prior to last season. I said this running back room may be as great as it was in prior seasons when you had the duo of Gary Quarles as well as Bentley.
Timeout on the field. 4th down when we come back for the White. It looks like they're going to talk about it. Nope, they're switching sides. So they're going to punt. Now they're just deciding where to place the ball, and it will be inside the 2-yard line for the Maroon. That's going to be interesting to see where Ashley Tucker does, or ATJ as they call him. Let's see how he handles being backed up. Now, that's something else you'll see today in the game. Coach Maynard is intentionally putting in situations to see the competition and also to see how his student-athletes react.
That's right, because they'll see a plethora of great defenses coming forward this season. You have Tuskegee during homecoming. I know, Ted, you can't wait for that one.
No,
but beforehand,
they can miss that.
Before that, you'll also have Vanderbilt, and you never know what positions you'll be in during that game.
1st and 10 for the Maroon from the 2-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Eaglin in the backfield with Tucker. Tucker's going to roll the pocket. Zarion Young putting in pressure. Tucker's pass incomplete to the far side to number 5. Turner, Darren Turner, redshirt freshman, wide receiver, 6'3", 215 pounds out of Memphis. Tucker's first 2 passes, well, first 3 actually, have not looked good is the best way to say it. He's been a little wide or a little bit late, but he's young. We'll see what he does. Now, Bulldog defense will switch. 2nd down and 2 from the Maroon 2. Tucker sets the offense, but now he'll look to the sideline for the play call. Tucker will line them up. Offset eye for the Bulldogs. Eaglin in the backfield. Tucker with the option. Here comes Eaglin. Bulldog White trying to get there. Eaglin takes a step back, but he'll go down maybe around the 7-yard line. Good pickup of 5. Yeah, last year Eaglin averaged 5.1 yards per carry.
That's right.
And if you just listen, rather than throw an interception, just hand him the ball.
That's right. Just hand him the ball and let him go to work. We saw that several times during last season. During the back end of that schedule, he was able to put the team on his back, put the offense on his back, and carry us to big-time wins.
3rd down and 7 for the Maroon offense. Maroon offense now will stand up, and they'll look to the sideline for the play call. Play call is made, and now Tucker will call that out to all of his other offensive mates. White look, they'll make their adjustments. Go in the 1st. Tucker is going to roll the pocket, but that's a handoff, and that's safety.
How about that defensive line getting there quick, fast, and in a hurry as they were able to dial it in, and we saw it right there on full display. 23 sacks in 2022, and they bolstered that from the prior season by 10.
Zarion Hayes, number 4, the redshirt sophomore defensive end, who is a beast out of Dillon, South Carolina, along with number 9, Jordan Mitchell, number 9, a redshirt junior defensive end out of Beulahville, North Carolina. We see that East Coast football influence, and now with the safety, it should be a free kick from the 20-yard line. However, they will just mark that off, and now the White offense, who now leads 8-0, looks like a Pop Warner score.
It's very encouraging, Ted. That was very encouraging to see that defensive line, though, get there that fast. As we know, last season they were the second. They gave up the 2nd most yards in the SWAC as far as rushing the football is concerned. So to see them be able to clog that up was a great sign.
In their defense, when your offense throws more interceptions than touchdowns, you're going to put your defense in a bad situation most times when that happens. So what we have to do, find the offensive leadership, but to make sure that you can make points off the turnover or you don't turn the ball over when you're on offense. 1st and 10 for the White offense, the Bulldogs. Big man is near the sideline. That's Hambrick. Split far to the other side, the other receiver, and the Bulldogs show the I formation. They will hand that thing off.
Oh,
and
my
God, still on his feet. 35, 45, 50, 40, and run out of bounds just over the 35-yard line. Man, which kid is that? We're so far away, I can't tell you.
What an incredible run.
That's either Kenny Wilkins, 20, or Daryl Moffitt. That looks like Williams. Absolutely. That's Kenny Wilkins, a junior running back out of Cleveland, Ohio. You're right. The 216 is doing work.
Oh, yeah, that's all we know.
So now we'll stack the receivers on both sides. Daytona set, 2 receivers to either side. Wilkins still in the backfield. Langford now will get the snap, but a flag comes in and we'll stop it. Illegal procedure will be the call in 1st and 10 play from the 37-yard line of the Maroon. Man, I understand that the student athletes are so competitive when we walk through the George H. Hobson Fieldhouse before the game. And just listening to the student athletes, they got me hyped today because they're hyped and intense. You win championships, folks, in the spring and the summer. You don't win them in November.
That's right. That's right. And it's not just recruiting, it's also developing, and we're looking to see that on full display today during the spring game.
1st and 15 now for the White offense. Langford now will look to the sideline to get the play call. And I see the signals, and that the white team, because their coaches are wearing maroon. They got to fix that next time. Langford back to pass. He's being pressured. Langford, they're just going to call a sack on that one. Good job to get there by the Maroons, number 19. N'Kobe Myers, redshirt sophomore safety, 6'1", 220 pounds, Wallet Lake, Michigan.
Seeing different packages here defensively, I think that is a good sign, changing it up a little bit.
2nd and 14 for the Bulldog White offense. Langford directing the protection. He'll take the snap. He'll fire that football. Got a receiver down the middle of the seam. That's number 45 with the completion. No, he dropped the ball.
Tough play there. Tough play by the redshirt freshman and Sean Bitten Jr. A tall glass of water, unable to pull that one in. I know he'll love to have that one back, especially if it was in better conditions.
And can't worry about the conditions. Coach Maynard will tell you 3/4 of the NFL season is played in the cold. We're in North Alabama. You
That's
come
right.
here to expect to play in the cold. This is not Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Mercy, he dropped that ball. 3rd and 14 for the Bulldog White offense. Langford, 1 step. He's going to hand it off again. Hey, mama, there goes that man. Over the 40, over the 35, still on his feet. Now he's run out of bounds. That's, again, number 20 in white. 30 in white now. DeVero Moffitt got that handoff. 20 and 30 look alike. That's what it's supposed to do to the defense as well. You can't see the 0, but you think you can see the 0, but you can't see the 2 or the 3. You don't know which guy you're going to get. 4th down now. Big decision here. Langford staying on the field. That means the offense is there. 4th down and 4 from the Maroon 30-yard line.
I think this will be a telling sign of where the offense is leading to, whether it's pass or run, as we'll see.
Option to the right side from Langford. He'll give it up, but it looks like the Maroon defense has gotten there. But the second effort, that big man, that's my guy, number 73, Mohamed Alizé, the redshirt junior offensive lineman, 6'5", 300 pounds from Winnebago, Wisconsin.
That's right. Had a chance to learn about him when he transferred in. The big fella is leading the charge, Coach. And it's funny to actually mention me still being a student here at this great university. He's actually my suite mate.
Oh, wow.
So we're able to learn one another a lot better. So Muhammad is a great guy. You know, he's a big, lovable guy. As we got an injury here on the floor, on the field.
High energy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so we don't like to see student athletes go down. That's something that you mentioned earlier. You try to come out of the spring with the knowledge of installing your schemes, your base plays. You want to get better every day, and then finding our offensive leadership. And the last thing you want to do is come out healthy.
That's right.
And the student athlete does get off, and he's going off on his own power. Your younger eyes might be able to pick up that number. We usually can hear Mr. Ron McIntosh in the stadium announcing, but we don't have the windows open because it's a little bit blustery today, y'all.
Oh, yeah, and they actually don't have that number on the roster. It looks like it was number 52. As we'll hope to see him back on the field soon. Actually, excuse me, Dwight Harvey, the freshman defensive tackle out of Twinsburg, Ohio, not too far from Cleveland.
And the Maroon offense will take over 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. We understand, folks, we have a little crosstalk going, and they can hear us, Chauncey, in the stadium. Thank you, Mo Carter from Channel 54 WZDX, who provides great coverage for all SWAC events, particularly those of the Bulldogs here in town.
Absolutely. He's been a great mentor to me as well. during my collegiate career, as well as you, of course, Ted. But Mo has been able to help me on the reporting side of things, teaching me how to correct my stand-ups, how to correct my packages.
2nd and 7 for the Maroon. Hand off to Eaglin. Eaglin goes right up the middle, and as he does all the time, he is falling forward, holding that football. His progress will go out to the 34-yard line of the Maroon. 3rd down and 4, call it, for the Maroon. This is the chance for AJT to show us what he's got.
That's right. But beforehand, how about Eaglin? His carrying IQ is always on another level, and we saw that just there.
3rd down, and the offense faced with 2 receivers on their side, 1 to the far. The white defense moved around on them, and that's what caused Tucker to look to the sideline, trying to adjust the play. Quarterbacks don't really audible here at A&M. That's left for the coaches to do.
But the awareness to be able to point out what the defense is shifting to was big from the young quarterback.
3 down lineman for the white defense. Tucker overlooking the offense. Takes the snap, looks right, throws right. This time he's on time and on target. Completed to number 2, Terrell Gardner. That will be enough for a Bulldog first down out to the Maroon 41-yard line.
And I love to see Terrell catching those passes like that. It looks like we're going to see his role in the offense bolster big time after several Bulldogs leaving out.
Gardner still has not had a touchdown in his career, but he has been the hardest working student athlete. 1st and 10 for Maroon for the 41-yard line. Motion from the right to left. Eaglin going to take the handoff and go forward. We have a flag. Time the motion was going, so either the receiver left early, or the motion man turned to the offensive line early.
And Ted, you're absolutely right. Terrell has been able to – he's been Coach Maynard's Swiss Army knife, if you will. He's been able to take kick returns, punt returns. I remember years prior against Texas Southern, he had that huge kick return that helped change the tide of that game and keep the Bulldogs ahead. And then this past season, we saw him be a leader to that wide receiver room. And I talked to him prior to this game, Ted, and he was like, man, that was huge for me, and it helped me grow as a wide receiver.
That would be my fault. It's 1st and 5 for the offense of the Maroon. White jumped offside. Now Tucker looking to the sideline for the play. Coach Jason Mai, who you might say is the head coach of the Maroon, gives him the signal, claps his hands. Tucker now looking at the line. The white defense now will shift. They show blitz. Now they back up in the zone. Tucker makes fake the pass. He pulls it down, but he will go down.
Young quarterback got caught up in his receiver that he was looking for, and instead didn't keep his eyes right in front with that defensive line coming at him.
Malik Pertee, number 44, Southmore defensive tackle, 6'1", 306 pounds, out of Ocala, Florida. That will be the end of the first quarter as we hear the siren go off. White leads Maroon 8-0 right here in the spring game for the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the 2023 spring game between the Maroon and White here at Alabama A&M University. Ted Dixie, Chauncey Sanders on hand. Chauncey, through this broadcast, I want you to be able to give the folks an opportunity to hear how you have developed and what you did to develop while you're here in school. I know last year you interned at the Los Angeles Rams.
That's right.
That's big, folks.
Reigning Super Bowl champions during that year. Absolutely fun time to be in that locker room, in that hotel, learning things, not just from Sean McVay, but from everyone that's a part of that organization.
1st and 5 for the Maroon offense from their 46-yard line. Start of the second quarter, the White leads the Maroon 8-0. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far for the Maroon. Diagonal package in the backfield. Tucker looking, changed his launch point. Now Tucker's going to tuck it and run. He does a spin move at the 45 and is brought down short of the 50-yard line. They'll mark his progress to the 48. Call it a 7-yard pickup for Tucker. 2nd down and 3 for the Maroon.
I love that maturation right then and there. Prior to the quarter ending, we saw him get a sack, a quarterback sack at that, where he had his eyes downfield. Now instead, he adjusts, makes the move, and picks up yards.
Tucker will get the play. Now the diagonal is pointed to the far side of the field. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far. Tucker now checking with Mai. Mai giving the signal. Tucker will make the change offensive line. Defense, White will line up. Old Bronski Town start formation. 2 lines and a safety. Tucker's going to run the option, but he's going to keep it. Woo! He spun out of that would-be tackle, and he's down at the 50-yard line. Good job, and a flag comes in late. Good job by Tucker. I said when he was in summer practice last year, he was the most athletic and most coordinated of the quarterbacks that we have, and he's showing that right there.
That's right. It looks like we're going to have a long quarterback battle from now until the fall regular season.
And for me, I don't think it's going to be that long, but some people say the old adage was, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. And that was the Bulldog folly last year. Now, Tucker did not get a first down. On the play, he'll be marked short. But no, the penalty is against the Maroon because they're backing them up. Must have been a holding play because he's now faced with a 2nd down and 11. No, excuse me. 2nd down and 11. From the 40 this time goes the Maroon offense. Trip receivers to the far side, tight end to the near. That's number 84, Donovan Payne, redshirt freshman, tight end, 6'4", out of Denton, Texas. I'm looking up at everybody on the team except Gardner.
Right. It's a new Bulldog club, new era here as things get started.
Handoff going to the left side. No gain on the play. That was number 27, who is not listed on the Maroon roster. Nope, maybe it's 23.
But I like to touch on that. This is a new program. This is an all-new era of Maroon and White football as we're seeing a lot of those guys from that championship team roll out and go on to their next endeavors.
Isaiah Nokwendo, number 23, redshirt sophomore running back, 5'8", 175 pounds on the carry. He got none. Now they'll say he lost 1 on the play. 3rd down and 11. Trip receivers to the far side. Tight end to the near. Tucker looking. 4-down lineman for the White. Now they'll send a 5th. Tucker back to pass. He's going to let one fly down the right sideline. Got a receiver wide open. Completion made at the 28-yard line. Tackle made at the 24-yard line. Great job by Tucker.
Beautiful throw by the quarterback. Allowed the play to develop and found that man wide open on the far right side of the field.
Pass is complete to number 5, Darren Turner, the redshirt freshman wide receiver, 6'3", out of Memphis, Tennessee. Tucker's going to hand it off again. Blast right up the middle, still bouncing around. Looks like number 21, Anthony Fielding. No, that's not 21. Got to tell me that number, Chauncey. But that running play with the hurry-up offense caught the defense unawares. 1st down for the Maroon. Maroon trying to get back in the game, trailing 8-0.
Let's see if you can get this one, Ted. Number 23, Isaiah Noenkino. There you go. See, I wanted to test you there. Number 23, redshirt sophomore running back out of Bradley, Illinois.
I practiced from last year. 2nd down and 2 for the Maroon offense. Timeout called by the referee. Timeout on the White. We'll take it with them. 30-second timeout. 7:41 left to go in the first half. Bulldog White ahead 8-0 over the Maroon. This is the Alabama A&M Sports Network. Welcome back to the Lewis Cruz Physical Education Complex, where the Maroon now has a second down and 2 from the 6-yard line of the White, so they can get a first down. Ashley Tucker Jr. at quarterback. He has 2 receivers to the far side, two to the near, 1 to the far. Tucker, they're going to call a flag on that one. Tucker had slammed into the ground.
He had no chance of making anything happen on that play.
I guess they said the quarterback's alive today. Well, let's see what it is. Tucker did not expect that, but I guess now he got his first shot in, so he's ready.
But that's great signs from this defense. It's been a lot of positives than negatives on this defensive side of football for both the Maroon and White today.
Highly competitive game today for a spring game. They had me hyped up this morning. I guess it is infectious because the crowd is here too. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far for Tucker. They'll look to the sideline, get the play adjustment. Still trying to figure out who's back there with Tucker at running back. Sometimes the jersey gets torn in pregame and they have to swap one out, but we just don't get the change. 3rd down and 9. Tucker with the slant pattern, and that's again Tucker's behind and late to the intended receiver. Would have been a touchdown if he's on time and on target.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes when you're throwing to a smaller receiver with that type of pass to Gardner, as it was just a little bit behind them. We'll see if they can build some chemistry going forward.
4th down now for Maroon. The Maroon down 8-0. We're not kicking field goals today. The ball will be spotted short of the 15-yard line. We'll call it the 14. Let's go for it. The pressure situation, something else you want to work on, your football awareness in the spring as well. Tucker with 2 receivers to the near side, a little bit closer this time. Tucker's going to roll the pocket left. Doesn't get any help out there from the running back trying to block the defensive end, but Tucker gets his feet around and tries to make an effort to throw the ball, but it's nearly picked off.
Sometimes in a young quarterback, they try to make those plays. They try to force it in there, and we saw that just then as we look back at that play as it was broken up and incomplete.
I'm looking on the rosters, and I did not see Quincy Casey's name, but I believe Quincy was beat up at the end of last season, probably had surgery, just held out today.
That's right. Quincy has been doing a lot of work on his shoulder, and I've been able to sit down recently at one of his rehabs, and he actually looks like he's progressing really well, doing a lot of work without the ball in his hand and also with medicine balls in his hand as well.
1st and 10 now for the White from their 25-yard line, leading 8-0, 6:34 left to go in the first half. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 receiver in the tight end to the far. Have a change at quarterback for the White. Number 17, Howard Thornton, freshman quarterback, 6'2", 190 pounds, from G. Monetti from Ohio.
That's right.
Fred Ferrier must be doing some recruiting work. A handoff goes nowhere.
Oh, yeah, the Heights alum, Cleveland Heights alum. As you know, there's many well-represented Cleveland Heights alums in this world, including the Super Bowl champion Travis Kelce, and also his brother that faced off in that Super Bowl as well, Jason Kelce.
2nd and 11 for the White. Quick handoff up the middle. Power running game on display for the Bulldogs here today. That's going to be a 4-yard pickup on the play. Could not tell. You know, I'm just out of shape here and need new glasses. Somebody send me a sponsor. Looks like number 30. DeVero Moffitt, redshirt sophomore running back, 5'10", 200 pounds, out of Phoenix City.
Not too far, right down the highway.
3rd and 7 for the White. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Howard back to pass. And Howard tried to give one away. His intended receiver was number 85, Tavares Rickerson Jr., freshman wide receiver, 6'3", 207 from Miami, Florida. G. Monetti. I think Gardner may be the shortest person we've said today. Everyone else seems like they're over 6 feet.
But it's not, and you know his saying, it's not about the size of the man, it's about the heart of the man. And you know Terrell is tough as nails after everything he's been through.
He's got a bunch of heart. He's a real good kid. I wish nothing best for him, but this I did not know until I went to practice in the spring. He's going to be a great coach one day should he decide to do it.
Definitely, and that was something that we've been hearing murmur around this Maroon and White team. Him picking it up as a veteran and as a captain on that wide receiver team, as we know them to be what? Come on, I know you know the nickname.
Know them to do what? Oh, the Outlaws.
That's right, the Outlaws. As there'll be a lot of fresh faces on that Outlaw team, we expect to see them as well pick it up this season just where they left off.
As I told him, I want you to be all conference. First and 10 from the 32-yard line of the Maroon. They had T-shirts and all that made up. I was like, you didn't give me a T-shirt. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Tucker still in the quarterback. He's going to hand it off to 27. Oh, my goodness. Woo-hoo, that was a lick pass right there.
Ted, are they barbecuing out there and didn't invite us? I mean, what's going on out here?
Man, you keep that up, somebody's going to be in the concussion protocol. What is that kid's number? Oh, my goodness. I wish I could hear Mac, and I can't.
I know we heard the victory bell from out the hill just then because there was definitely some being rung on that field. How about that?
Second down and 10 for the Maroon. That young man got up off the ground and went right back to the huddle, though. That was a collision. Glad to have you watching us on the YouTube network today. This is my first time. Other than us sitting in the stands with a phone, but hey, Chauncey's a pro at this.
Oh, got to love the YouTube live stream. I love all of our maroon and white faithful joining us.
Second down and 8, pass to the right side, complete to number 3. That's Donovan Wright, redshirt sophomore, 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, we know with a grain of salt you got to take what they're listed at in college, but just the fact that you're bold enough and the kid kind of looks, I know they're over 6 feet tall. Third down and call it 7 for the Maroon from the 35-yard line. They have to get to the 42. Tucker looking to the sideline. 2, 4, and 3 are his receivers. That's Gardner, Wright, and Young. And his running back is number 27. We will get his name for that young man. 4-down lineman for the White. Tucker back to pass. He's looking under pressure. Got to get out of there, son. And Tucker's going to go down. And, yes, the quarterbacks are live today.
That's his helmet.
They'll drop him back to the 24-yard line.
Like there was a bit of little bit of frustration there from the young quarterback as that offensive line collapsed pretty quickly. But once again, that defensive line, the game is fought up front, Ted, and it looks like this defensive line has grown, matured, and it's on full display today.
So I'm wondering now they have the first down marker. Let's see, I didn't know they're going to punt, so the officials are going to the other end of the team. No punting today. The conditions aren't conducive for it. Last thing you want to do is have to go out and find a kicker. So no punting today, no place kicking today. And then after this fake punt, if you will, the White will take over first and 10 from their 36-yard line, leading 8-0, 3:35 left to go in the first half.
And also, Ted, most important, no injuries during kickoff or punt returns. We see that a lot in the NFL as well as other conferences in college football.
First and 10 for the White. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Low snap for Howard. Howard looking left, throwing left. And luckily that one was low because it was incomplete. And if he'd thrown it where he should have, Howard Thornton, that would be an interception. Thornton getting his time in at quarterback.
Well, Ted, it looks like it's Xavier Langford still out there on the field.
Oh, he put Langford back
in
in 16. Okay, good deal. Thank you. And see, now I get to tell Langford, hey, man, every time you throw the ball in the dirt, we could have handed it off to our all-conference running back. I know he's going to get tired of me saying that, but if he does, he'll start throwing 70% completions. Second down and 10 on the 36-yard line goes the White. Langford back to pass again. Looking left, throwing, look complete. Oh, that was a nice dime. Complete to the 45-yard line of the Maroon. That looks like Keenan Hambrick again, number 6.
That's what we like to see. I love to see these two develop right in front of us right now.
Yes,
since
sir.
The first drive. And he missed them just short there earlier on in that prior pass that you were just mentioning into the ground, but he's able to make up for it the following play.
Keenan Hambrick, sophomore, wide receiver, 6'4", 205 pounds, out of Athens, Alabama. And, yeah, he's every bit of 6'4". Every bit. First and 10 now after the Langford completion to Hambrick. Hambrick's father played here at Alabama A&M and is a record-setting receiver. Handoff going to the left side. Man, I tell you what, they are passing licks if nothing else out there today. 2-yard pickup on the play down to the 40-yard line of the Maroon.
Ted, doesn't it feel like both teams have had this game circled?
Yes,
we know
sir.
they had the
Yes, sir.
We know they had the Sunday event where they were able to pick out which player they wanted during the
draft.
And now it is on full. Everybody is out there just rushing and hitting.
Langford's going to hand it off again. Oh, no, he didn't. He kept it, and, man, the quarterback is live.
He paid the price for that one, but they are gaining that experience with that handoff. We've been seeing them fake the handoff and keep it, and that is what he needs going forward when you have teams like Vanderbilt coming up, Lane College, as well as Alabama State circled as well. We want to get that trophy back during the Magic City Classic.
Ooh, Coach Manor knows what it's like to lose a classic now. And I'm telling you, that's a. I'm still salty. 3rd down and 10 for Langford. Back to pass, throwing down the left sideline.
Nice.
Got a receiver in his hands at the 5. 3, 2, 1, touchdown Bulldogs.
Beautiful pass from Langford right there in stride. Love to see that during this spring game, as we hope to see that during the regular season.
Langford has developed nicely, folks. Looks like a Southwestern Athletic Conference quarterback now. Trying to get the number of the one who received who was at the other end of the play.
Like number 13 in Braxton Tolliver.
The redshirt freshman wide receiver, 6'1" out of Montgomery, Alabama. Now I get to tell a joke for Tolliver. So the best thing coming out of Montgomery is Interstate 85, and now it's Tolliver.
What a nice pass. Ted Dixie, y'all. Ted Dixie, y'all.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far for Langford. Going for 2 here. Langford, quick pass fake. Now throw to the corner of the end zone, overshoots his intended receiver. The White goes up 14-0, 2:15 left to go in the first half. Timeout. We'll take it with them. See you back on the other side. Welcome back to the Lewis Cruz Physical Education Complex. The White has just scored on a long touchdown pass from Xavier Langford to Keenan Hambrick. The extra point failed. They now lead 14-0. Ashley Tucker Jr. make a pass to the far side, almost picked off. So you talk about a freshman student-athlete's development. Tucker now looks like, number 1, he's playing more than he ever has. Number 2, he looks like he's trying to press a little bit, trying to get some success.
That's right. Forcing it just a little bit. You see them falling behind a little bit in the score. 2 minutes remaining, and now he's trying to force things just a little bit to make a big play. It just happens one play at a time. You don't need one home run play.
2nd down and 10, and the near side corner showed blitz. That's Marquez Beeson, who played well last year.
Oh, he was amazing, wasn't he?
We just couldn't get everyone together early enough in the season to gel. Tucker back to pass. Now he'll throw it up in the air, looking down the right sideline. Ooh, almost picked off. The ball got away from him. It's slick out here, so he ended up throwing the ball not with as much velocity or the angle he wanted, almost intercepted.
That's the scary part about trying to throw long balls like that in weather conditions like this, Ted. Sometimes the ball can get carried away by that wind. You saw him with the long wind-up, and it fell just short. And maybe in better conditions, he would have made that pass in stride.
We do have replays here in stadium. Fine crew we have here at Lewis Cruz. On the video side, thinking Mike Morins and the rest of his crew. 2 receivers either side. 3rd down and 10 from the 25 of the Maroon. Tucker looking for some success. Bulldog defense, White defense, having none of that. Tucker back to pass. A little pressure. Oh, now, my goodness.
Defensive line is after it. They are after it, and they're here to prove a point that they're going to be one of the best in this conference come this season.
Dimitri Morgan, number 54, a freshman defensive end, 6'5", 215 pounds out of Fort Myers, Florida. I don't know. They got that number wrong. He looks like he weighs about a biscuit short of 300.
How about this defensive line during the spring game, Ted? Being after it on both sides, Maroon and White. They're getting after it. They're ringing people's bells, as the song once went, and they're getting after the quarterback.
How do you know that song? And now after the punt, the White offense will take over 1st and 10 from their 39-yard line, leading 14-0. 1:42 left to go in the first half. Let's see who's quarterbacking. Yes, Howard Thornton's going to get a chance again. Now after the jitters are gone for the freshman quarterback, he'll get a chance. Now, you heard a lot about a transfer we had from Buffalo.
That's right.
That young man is now moved to safety. He's a safety in high school, but he's the best athlete on the team, so they moved him to quarterback. And then Buffalo recruited him, but now Thornton back to pass. Oh, my goodness, and Thornton's going to put it on the ground, and that's what you can't do, son.
That's a fumble, but once again, we harp back on this defensive line. They are after it. They are after it, and we love to see that. They were able to force 23 sacks in the 2022 season. They were 7th in run, 11th in passing, and it looks like they'll be jumped up a little bit this coming season.
The guy you talked about, Raekwon Williams, number 31, freshman cornerback, 6'1", 175 pounds, out of Memphis.
Also an Oregon transfer, and we like to see that recruiting trail pick up guys that may not be getting time from bigger schools and bring some of that aspect they've learned from those bigger schools over here to Alabama A&M.
1st and 10 for the Maroon offense now. They get it back on a turnover, trailing 14-0. Tucker Jr. still in at quarterback. He's bracketed by a big running back and a little running back. Fake to Eklund. They were going to go the far side with the reverse, but the defensive line smelled it out. Led by number 1 in white, Brian Plummer, redshirt sophomore. The guy who listed as a quarterback, his height's 225, and he's from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Merlin, I'm sorry, y'all. That's how you say that.
Defense is just all over it, swarming all over the place. That's excellent to see from defensive coordinator Bull Ware and this team as we got a flag on the field.
2nd down and 1,000,000, we'll call it, all the way back to the 46-yard line of the white. Go the Maroon. Big shout-out. Got a lot of people watching here. Coach Maynard's whole family watching the game.
Oh,
hey,
love
Miss
to see
Lula.
it.
Hey, Mr. Paul. Of course, Missy and Mike. But the real deal here is Craig Maynard, who keeps it hot for him in North Carolina. We've already been making plans for the football season and what we're going to do game day.
Love the Maynard family. They're almost as if they are my family. He's done so much for me, but not just him, the missus, as well as a good friend of mine's in Nicole.
All right. 2nd down and 15 from the 41 after the penalty. Tucker is going to throw the ball to Eklund to the near side. Eklund trying to make a move. He got a block from Gardner, but a flag comes in. 2 flags comes in. Eklund's beat up on the sideline by his own teammates, but not today. It's Maroon versus the white. 2 flags will get them to sort this out. It may be a hold or maybe blocking below the waist. I saw Gardner trying to cut someone.
Tough run there from Eklund, unable to find that window that he would like with that offensive line, but
the holding penalty against the Bulldog Maroon team. Going to put them in a hole, a digger hole. 52.9 seconds left. You know, I'm rooting for Ashley Tucker Jr. He's the kid that I want to see a lot of. 3-star out of California is really a 4-star in a lot of other states. Some even a 5. But he's got some skill. He's young. He went in the weight room as we were like, dude, you need to get a little bit bigger. And he did. It'll be interesting to see what his development is like over the summer.
That's right. We know the development here in the Maroon and White is second to none, as we saw several great talents come from this school, whether it was from the wide receiver position, but also the quarterback position, which you touched on, with the great Aquil Glass.
3rd down and 12 for the Maroon from the 38-yard line of the White. Clock not moving. Still 52.9 seconds left in the half. Ted Dixie along with Chauncey Sanders. Tucker back to pass. Trying to set up the screen. No dice, nothing going. I don't even think we had a positive yard or screen pass last season. Number 47 on the tackle. That's Christopher Barnes, redshirt sophomore linebacker, 6 feet tall, 230 pounds from Chicago, Illinois.
And see, this is what live scrimmages are all about. This young quarterback is going to learn that instead of just telegraphing that pass, we saw in the Aquil Glass, you make that fake and then spin out of it and make the screen pass. And that way you buy that receiver some time to get open.
I can tell you have watched a lot of NFL practices. 4th down and 12 for the Maroon, and they will go for it. 48.2 seconds left to go in the half. Maroon trailing 14-0. Got to get on the board. Trip receivers to the far side. Low snap to Tucker.
As we have a false start.
Now either the ball is slippery so the center couldn't get it back there quick enough, but the 3 receivers all left at the same time, so we're going to blame the center for this one. It's the spring, man. Everybody goes under the mic. Illegal procedure. Yes, that would have been on the center. They'll back it up 5 more yards out to the 43-yard line of the White.
And see, you hate that for this Maroon team because they're finally getting past midfield. You're starting to see that progression shown here. And as they were getting closer and inching their way towards the end zone, now a couple of flags, tackles for losses. Now they're backed up.
That's where the frustration sets in for a student athlete and the coaching staff because you're trying to find rhythm, but you can't get it because you're not executing. 4th down, and we'll call it 17 for the Maroon. Tucker, play action pass, back to pass, but it looked like everyone's standing around stopping the play. Tucker's just going to throw it downfield. He throws the interception, late developing play. There's the pick. And White goes the other way, 30, 35, 40, 45, knocked out of bounds, a 50-yard line. It looked like that someone heard a whistle because half of everyone on both sides kind of just stood there.
Well, it looked like they didn't want to, injure each other there on those plays. They could be bang, bang, especially when it's turning over like that. And just for the quarterback, tough pass there when everybody on defense is backing up in the prevent style defense, having the recognition that it's a long first down ahead.
The student athletes told me before the game that they're betting on themselves today. And we're going to see who wins. All I know is if something doesn't change for the Maroon, they got a whole bunch of pizza to buy. You might end up using all your cost of attendance money on that check you got going now. 1st and 10 for the White from their 47-yard line. Langford still in the quarterback. He's going to throw a quick pass to the left side. He skips it out to his intended receiver. He wasn't under pressure. It should have been an easy pitch and catch.
And that just comes with now they have to grow that experience with these conditions. We may see these conditions down the line. As we know, Mississippi Valley State will be the last team we play here at home. And it may be slippery conditions. You have to be able to adjust to those conditions with the football.
Langford with a handoff right up the middle into the 45-40, still on his feet.
Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds.
And now he'll go down, clock running, still running. They did not mark him out of bounds. That will probably be the last play of the half. Now there's a timeout that comes in.
Yep. See, time score strategy at all times. The guys have to be able to be aware that they have to get out of bounds because the clock is winding down.
That was either DeVero Moffitt, number 30. We're back to Kenny Wilkins, number 20, but I think it's Moffitt because it's 5'10". He looked like he was diminutive, if you will. Good play from the White. Seen a lot of good things today, Chauncey. You pointed them out. But on a overcast, dreary day under the lights with the rain coming down, we've got spring football here on the hill. I'm still excited. Somebody asked me.
Got to be excited. Somebody has to be.
Man, then they are.
And this is putting hair on their chest out there in this weather. Makes me feel like I'm back at home as I've been enjoying the sun as much as I can down here, not having any snow. But now we got this overcast. Feels just like at home, and I'm excited because we got football on the field.
So now it is 1st and 10 for the White. 15.2 seconds left to go. They're at the 37-yard line of the Maroon. Langford trying to cash in one more time before the half.
Oh, somebody moved.
Just like that, the left tackle takes a few steps back. We know it's going to be a pass play. Number 75, that guy, oh my goodness. Ramier Lewis, or Ramir Lewis. But I'm off on saying Ramier Lewis, 75, freshman offensive lineman. Get this, folks, 6'7", 340 pounds out of Clearwater, Florida. And I was talking to his parents before the game. I thought, y'all out here in the rain, who's your son? 1st and 15.
Can you name off that height and weight? I know the
6'7", 340. Here's Langford on the run. Langford at the 35, 30, going out of bounds short of the 25-yard line. 8.7 seconds left to go. Langford, who won the Texas Southern game, running the option right up the middle. Oh my goodness, that was one of the best days.
Oh, that was beautiful, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness,
that was beautiful. That was the way you end this season on a high note. Great comeback win, and also helping the playoff implications in the SWAC. Still making an influence in the SWAC.
That's right. So you can either be the winner or the spoiler. 2nd down and 2 for Langford, going from the 29-yard line of the Maroon. Langford back to pass again. Going to throw the swing pass coming out to number 20. He's at the 30. Dances at the 25. He's knocked out of bounds near side. Oh, yes, sir. Wilkins looks good carrying that football after the catch and run.
Looks like it'll be a first down as well.
1.8 seconds left to go in the half. Yes, sir. I mean, there are more people out here than you can even say. I mean, really. I'm got a Pittsburgh Steelers umbrella.
As you mentioned, we got to give a shout-out to the Maroon and White faithful that came out today in these dreary conditions.
All day.
Rainy, sitting on those metal bleachers. We know it can be cold up here, but it definitely has to be cold on those metal bleachers.
And there are folks sitting on the visiting side as well. 1st and 10 for the White. 1.8 seconds left to go from their 24-yard line of the Maroon. Langford going to go back to pass, throw it to the end zone. He'll heave one to the left.
Beautiful.
So look at that, wide open. Touchdown, White. Goodness.
What a pass and catch.
Busted coverage. Good job of recognition by the quarterback to see that someone did not go the right way. I mean, the White is celebrating, boy. This is, oh, my goodness.
And that's Tolliver again on a nice pass right there towards the back end on the corner of the end zone, finding that open space. And as for the defense, they have to be able to keep their eyes on everyone. You cannot let someone fall behind you in the end zone like that.
That'll do it for the first half. The White has scored, but they're going to go for two. We have an untimed down. So this will be the last play of the half. Trying to increase their lead to 22. These kind of situations, yes, you want to practice them as much as possible. I tell people on the defense last year, you give up 32 points a game, but you're only scoring about 24. That's not going to get you a championship. Championships, folks, are run in the spring and the summer. They're not won in November.
That's right. And despite last year maybe being an off season for the Bulldogs, they still finished the season third in total offense.
And on the extra point is good on the carry by DeVero Moffitt. That will do it for the first half. White is up over the Maroon, 22-0. Stand by for the second half. This is the Alabama A&M Sports Network. Welcome back to the Lewis Cruz Physical Education Complex on the beautiful campus of Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University. Ted Dixie, along with Chauncey Sanders.
That's right.
At the spring 2023 maroon and white game, white is up 22-0. It might be a problem if it was white against black and they were up 22-0. With my reparations, but now the maroon team is looking for reparations. Now as they get ready to start right away, come right on the ball. Maroon will have it first and 10. Ashley Tucker Jr., we don't have statistics, but I can say right now he has 0 points, and that's all you need to know.
Well, he's had an up and down game as he's been able to learn in full time now how to run an offense.
And he'll hand it off to his best option, Donovan Eaglin, on the carry. Eaglin trying to push that line forward. Interesting last time is that we saw the defense shift once, but again.
That's right. We've seen a lot of shifts going on during this first half of spring ball, and I'm excited. I think that's a great sign for the defense to show the improvements that they look forward to making this upcoming season.
2nd and 7 for Maroon, down 22-0, 9:40 left to go. We're hoping for a running clock because there's no heat in the press box right now as the defensive line, the white, will maneuver. Low snap, Tucker will pick it up, and now he'll carry on the left side. Tucker's got some room. He sprints over the 35-40, and Tucker will be dropped at the 43-yard line. Best play he's made today with his feet. 1st and 10 for the Maroon.
Cutting the wheels on, and that's what you love to see, being able to escape and get out of the pocket. And he's also not afraid to lay some licks as well, Ted.
2 receivers far side with a low snap that Tucker will gather, and now he'll just throw the ball complete to the right side, the 42-yard line. That was a good arm he threw there. Man,
you just like to throw that football away, and I think that'll be something they go back and point to him at. Great play, way to make a pass complete, but you need to throw that football away because on the backside of that you lose yards, and that'll be something that the coaching staff points to during their time of watching film.
No, yes. But now that incomplete pass on the low snap leaves the Maroon 2nd down and call it 11. 3rd down, should it be? No, 2nd down and 11. Still Southwestern Athletic Conference. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Tucker in at quarterback. He's going to look to the sideline for the play adjustment. Defense playing zone with a single high safety. Tucker makes a call. He looks left, throws left. It is complete to number 3, Donovan Wright, redshirt sophomore wide receiver, 6 feet tall from Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm excited for this outlaw team. We saw many names come from this outlaw group, and Tank Dell now in the NFL draft, looking to get drafted soon. You also had Abdul Fattah Ibrahim. You also had Odul Hilaire come from this team. And now we're going to see the next group come. Who's going to be the next star?
3rd and 6 for the Maroon from the 47-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Tucker now looking for the play call. Coach Mai slaps his hands not once but twice. Now the running back who's in the fullback position is going to point. Now they're trying to figure out who they're going to identify for the protection because the white is showing blitz. Tucker takes a snap, back to pass. He's going to look down the field left, and he's got a man open right in his hands at the 5, still on his feet. Walks in the end zone, touchdown, Maroon. Donovan Wright, redshirt sophomore, 6 feet, Indianapolis. Welcome to the Hill. Touchdown in the Maroon and White game.
Big pass from the quarterback. Had time to set his feet, set his shoulders to where that destination needed to be met at, and he met his receiver right in stride, as we like to see that a lot more often going into this season.
Touchdown. Tucker gets on the board. You see why I like him if you saw that play. 22-6 is now our score. Maroon setting up to go for 2. There is no kicking in this game because of the conditions. It is raining, and it's still raining, but we have fans in the stands because there's something called a rain suit, an umbrella, and boots.
A lot of ponchos out there right now.
Trip receivers to the far side, as is the running back. Tucker's going to take the snap, chop block, but Tucker's going to run it in. Oh, man, goodness, he had room, but then he goes down quickly. As again, you have said all game long, Chauncey, the defensive line from Maroon and White are playing well.
Very well at a high level, and that's a great sign. That's something you want to see going into this upcoming season. You want to see them able to get into that backfield, disrupt, and that's what they were able to do a little bit last year. They saw a lot of progress from the prior season, but now we want to see that translate to the next level, as they were 7th in the run, 11th in passing in the conference.
Now the Maroon, I believe we had a penalty on that play, so they get to run another attempt of the PAT, 2-point conversion.
Keep an eye on the receivers as it looked like he'll set back to make a pass, probably going out left to just his same receiver he threw a touchdown to in right.
Darian Turner, number 5, 6'3", and he goes and gets it. Touchdown, extra point. Called it. Good job. Donovan Wright. Yes, sir. Let's go up and high point the football.
Right on cue as Mark. They love to get their receivers one-on-one, especially those receivers that they have great connections with. We saw that years and years, over and over, and it looks like the maroon and white are not going to fall away from that at all.
Good job to go up and get it. That looks like having tall receivers. If you're tall, you need to think about Alabama A&M, and we will make sure you have opportunities to catch the football. 22-8 is our score. 7:14 left to go in the third period. 22 points were put up on the board in the first half of the white. Looks like the maroon is on their way. 2 more touchdowns and points after conversions.
Much needed touchdown at that as well. They
Definitely
needed a drive like that. Now they're going to come back on the field later on with confidence at the next level.
Langford's going to fake the handoff and run it right up the middle of the first down play from the 25-yard line of the white. Langford's going to pick up 6 on the play out to the 31-yard line of the white. 2nd down and 4.
Nice move there by the vet quarterback, coming into another season, trying to come at the helm again, and he's able to keep his guys' composure. Let's get some yards. Let's not force ourselves into tough position.
Receiver formation is now 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. That's Hambrick. Diagonal backfield, Langford in the middle. He'll pull back. Oh, my goodness.
See, now, that's what you don't want to see during spring game. You like that in your defensive line and be able to get to the quarterback, but you don't want them to get to your team's quarterback, as we have plenty of time for that in the upcoming season.
Jamarion Ellis, redshirt sophomore defensive end, 6 feet, 232 out of Eastman, Georgia, and he was shot out of a cannon as he came off the edge.
Goodness gracious. He came back there like there was no traffic on 565 on the late night drive. He was just flying to the quarterback. And I know that's a great sign for our defense, but it's also a tough sign for our offensive linemen. We want to see them be able to hold up there.
3rd down and 10 now for Langford. He'll look right, throw right, well behind his intended receiver. Looks like it was a little bit of miscommunication there. Hambrick thinking, let me get 10 yards. Langford thinking he's going to break it off. No matter, they will now punt. Maroon gets it back, just having scored a touchdown, down 22-8. Let's see if they make it up.
And see, Ted, that was a bit of a trend last year that I saw with this offense, as Langford or Quincy Casey, in that matter of, at the quarterback position, getting hit hard, and now when they go back to make a pass, it felt like it was a little bit shaky because the offensive line couldn't really hold up there.
Saying hello to Coach Maynard's family in North Carolina, his mother Lula, his dad Paul, of course my girl Missy, and Big Mike, who said he was getting on line to go buy his airline ticket for September 30th when the Bulldogs host Tuskegee for homecoming. And, of course, my man Craig, who keeps that all together. Last year, 2 years ago, we brought a crowd to homecoming. Man, we might have 40,000 people here this year. 1st and 10 for the Maroon from their 35-yard line. Tucker just threw 1 touchdown pass. Still in quarterback. He's gone the whole way.
Keep your eye on the home run ball.
Tucker waiting on the play, got the handoff, faked it to 27. Tucker firing that thing down the middle again.
Oh, there it was. If he had a little bit more time to set his feet and the mechanics were just right, that pass was on the money for a long touchdown again, Ted.
He stumbled coming out of his move to change the launch point because he was under pressure. It's still slippery. He didn't have the grip on the ball. That would have been a touchdown again to number 3, Donovan Wright.
Easily, as we look back at this instant replay here on the beautiful stadium screen, he makes the right fake. He's able to try to get his feet set, but in a short time because he had a defender coming towards him, and he just missed that pass on the connection. But that was a for sure touchdown.
2nd down and 10 from the 35 goes the Maroon. 5:48 left to go in the third. Tucker looks like he has his bulldog legs. He's going to hand it off again. This is 27. 27 is going to make you miss. No, that's 23 on the carry.
That's right. We saw him a lot in the first half.
Isaiah Nokwikino.
There you go.
Redshirt sophomore running back 5'8" out of Bradley, Illinois.
Coming in at mid-season form, huh, Ted?
We're trying. You need some work in the spring. We rarely get a chance to work in the spring. It's usually the maroon and white game in August at Fan Day. Well, that 1 yard pickup on the play leaves it 3rd and 9 for the Maroon. 2 receivers to the far side and a tight end and a flanker. 1 receiver to the near side. That's Ike.
Let's keep our eyes here on Wright as we saw him make a huge play on the previous possession the Maroon had. He's matched up one-on-one.
Showed blitz. They'll back up out of it. Comes to the right side. Tucker does, and he hits Ike right in the hands. Ike climbs the ladder and makes a completion. That is complete out to the 45-yard line. That's enough for Maroon. First down.
That's right, right on cue. We see the quarterbacks building chemistry with their guys, and we saw it in the first half with Xavier Langford as well as Hambrick, and now we're seeing it in the Maroon with Wright and, of course, AJT.
Miss Lula, the Bulldogs are moving. 1st and 10 from the 45 goes the Maroon. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. We'll diagonal the backfield. That's Clark, 84, at the fullback position.
Excuse me, what did you use there? ATJ or is it AJ?
ATJ.
ATJ. I like that. We're going to have to keep that one.
And here's ATJ pass to the right side. It's over the outstretched hands of the intended receiver. Or did it go through his hand? Looked like he was going to make the catch.
Looked like it went through it, but as you know, when the balls get wet like that and they're going to reset with the new ball on the field, sometimes you just got to have it. You just got to have those ones.
I don't even want to hear that because we played with the
just
old
gotta
leather
have
ball.
them
You
once.
better be able to catch it with no gloves. These kids got gloves that are tactile, and they also catch the football, which is more tactile than it used to be. You're not supposed to drop the ball, son. 2nd down and 10 for the Maroon from the 45-yard line of the Maroon. Single high safety for the White. They're showing blitz again right up the middle. Now they'll back out of it. Now we have a flag. Now we have a legal procedure. Back them up 5.
Another false start there on the field. As we saw it on the far right side, someone just took off a little bit too quick.
You try to figure out now, receivers, as they coach you, you're supposed to look at the ball. So coaches really get upset when a receiver jumps early because you're not supposed to move. Forget the count. You don't move until the ball moves. That 5-yard penalty will put the Maroon 1st and 15 back to their 40-yard line. They'll stay with the same formation. 2 receivers either side. White's going to blitz. Tucker is under pressure, and he just, oh, my goodness.
No. See, I'm starting to get a little weary down here because the defensive line is doing their thing, but the last thing you want to see during the spring game is your quarterback without a helmet. I feel like the officials have to start blowing this a little bit early here because the last thing you want is a quarterback to be out injured.
That's a big debate now in the spring. And big notice is when the teams say this is a live scrimmage, the quarterbacks will be hit. Now, as you just said, that can go either way. Your quarterback can get hurt, but you're taking that chance. Well, some people say if he can't take getting hit in practice, how's he going to take getting hit in the game? 3rd down, and we'll call it 1,000,000, but it's really 23. Tucker back to pad. No, number 13 have a change at quarterback for the Bulldogs. And the Maroon, number 13, Xavier Wright, redshirt sophomore from 6'1", 210 pounds out of Atlanta, will make his completion to the far side to Ike. And he'll be out of bounds at the 40-yard line, but we'll have a change of possession. 3:40 left to go in the 3rd period. White leads the Maroon 22-8. Ted Dixie with Chauncey Sanders on. You like that? You're going to pay me for that one day.
One day.
I don't mind sitting on the couch. Ed McMahon made a lot of money sitting next to Johnny Carson. I'm rooting for you, son. I'm rooting for you.
I appreciate it. And I've been feeling it a lot more from all of the Maroon and White as we've been seeing a lot of encouragement during this game as well on the live stream and also via social media on Twitter and on Instagram.
Proud of you, son. 1st and 10 for the White from the 20. I'm going to hand it off, and oh, my goodness. Some bouncing, and the running back will twist and turn and bounce around like a pinball machine. Kenny Wilkins, number 20, the junior running back, 5'11", out of Cleveland, Ohio. I'll never forget that zip code again, the area code again. It's 216. He'll pick up 6 out to the 30 to the 26, but we have a student-athlete down. But it looks like he will get up. One thing that you don't notice really about linemen is they have a lot of head collisions.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of hands to the face. Sometimes you get one of those and get hit across the bridge of your nose, folks. You're not going to move for a minute.
Of course. And then worst of all, the last thing you want is to be twisted up in those scrums. They're trying to protect your running back.
And it looks like they are looking at his right leg. We'll let them do that. We'll step away for a minute. 22-8 is our score. The White over the Maroon. 3:31 left to go in the third. This is the Alabama A&M Sports Radio Network. Welcome back to the Lewis Cruz Physical Education Complex. It is the spring 2023 maroon and white game. White is up 22-8, and the somber tone is because number 73, Mohamed Elazazi, junior, redshirt junior offensive lineman, 6'5", 300 pounds out of Winnebago, Wisconsin, is taken off the field as Langford will hand it off again to number 30, Daryl Moffitt. Pickup of near first down. He'll be just short. Trying to see if Muhammad has a bad leg injury or did he just get a sprain, but we're hoping for the best. His brother's looking at attending school here as well, who's a big fella. 3rd down and 1 for the White.
Absolutely wishing for the best from the transfer.
Happy Easter and Resurrection, so let's get it together. 1st and 10 now for the White as they move the chains. Langford still at quarterback. Handed off Moffitt. He almost got stopped in the backfield, but he runs through that would-be tackler. He's now over the 35-yard line and spins out, but they'll mark him down. Moffitt, good feet coming out of his stance, high-stepping. As you said, it looks deep in the running back room, deep in the receiver room, and we're deep in the offensive and defensive line rooms as well. We probably, and since this is the first time in years that we could have a draft. I believe we had 2 separate teams in the spring game last year. I know in the fall we did. This is the first time in the spring for a while that I can really remember. 2 full squads. That's what recruiting does for you. 3rd down and 5. Hand off again to Moffitt, and I mean Moffitt got through that thing.
Going to work.
Quick 6-yard pickup.
He has that Dickies General Motors shirt on with his name on the side, and he's going to work down there. Putting in some work, man. I'm excited for this running back room. I really, truly am excited because they have so many different ways they can beat you. As we just saw Moffitt, and then you have Eaglin coming back. And we've been able to name several others. In that way, you always put pressure on the defense.
1st and 10 for the maroon, 1st and 10 for the White from their 41-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. That's Hambrick. Langford still in the quarterback. He'll take the snap and hand it off other men. That's Moffitt. Moffitt at the 45, 50. Moffitt into maroon territory. And just as we like to say, you run the ball, you get 2 yards, 3 yards, maybe 1, might lose. Just keep running it, and eventually he's going to get his rhythm as Moffitt looks like he has now. And, boy, it's trouble for the other team. 1st and 10 for the White from the maroon, 49-yard line.
Keeping the defense honest. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a deep ball here from Langford.
Play action pass coming. Let's see Langford calls the signals. 2 receivers to the far side, Hambrick to the near at the numbers. They will show press coverage on on Hambrick by number 31. And I just heard that Keenan's dad will be inducted into the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. Langford to the left side. Ooh, he just did not have enough on the ball. The defender caught up to the receiver, and the ball hit the defender in the back.
But Ted,
Incomplete pass.
that's what we like to see from this defense. Man to man, no help, one on one, mano y mano, and they're able to come out with an incomplete pass.
Second down and 10 from the 49. Goes to White. Now they'll hand it off this time. Go on, give it to looks like a new running back in the game.
That's right.
Number 36, Mark Anthony Gray.
That's right.
Redshirt sophomore, 5'10", 180 pounds out of Columbus, Ohio.
He's going to work, and it looks like it's doing wonders as well as the running backs are here in a plethora. I feel like this is the real competition we're watching right now. Who is going to be lined up alongside Donovan Eaglin as the next man to take those snaps?
3rd down and 5, pass down the left side. It's going to be short, almost intercepted, and almost received at the same time, as it was a 50-50 ball. Langford, a little bit more air in that ball, and his receiver still running, and now his receiver will hit the ground. It looks like he got a Charlie horse. He just reached up and grabbed him.
That's right, but the defense has been well, and now we saw the defensive line earlier. We've been talking about them all game, but now we're seeing the defensive backs step up here in the second half. 9 interceptions in 2022. That's one more than they had the previous season following the SWAC championship.
Have a timeout on the field to attend to a student athlete. Looks like he just has a cramp. Muhammad Elize has made his way, and there he is walking into the locker room. He's already there. We'll check on him after the game. I like him a lot because his attitude about his opportunities to play, phenomenal. He understands he is blessed to have a scholarship. He understands he has an opportunity to do something in life, and, man, he works hard. He slimmed down since last season. As you know from hanging around the NFLers, nobody's huge anymore in the league.
Oh, no. One of the surprises to me being out in Los Angeles was the size on Aaron Donald. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a freak of nature. But standing at nearly the same height and stature and then looking at his size. That's right. That's right. He's not as big as you look without the pads and, of course, that helmet, and he's coming at you full speed. Now, I can't go for that. Of course not. But seeing him in person without the pads was something special because you're absolutely right. The size is totally different.
Maroon will take over after the punt, 1st and 10 from their 5-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Looking at the running back, that might still be Eaglin since he doesn't have a touchdown today. It is not. Tucker's going to roll the pocket right, throws right, complete, just out of bounds. That's Ike again. 8-yard pickup. Boy, Ike is getting that work that Cox got last season. A lot of bypass opportunities, and he's making the most of it. Call it a 9-yard pickup on the play, 2nd down and 1 for the Maroon.
Nice catch by Terrell. We spoke on it earlier. We're looking to see his role and where he stands in this offense, and it looks like his role is going to be increased now that several guys from that wide receiver room has left.
Wright, Young, and Turner are the receivers, but it's a handoff up the middle. Trying to identify who that is. Is it number 25 again, Joshua Malone? If not, he's my homeboy, so we're going to give him some love anyway. Jonathan tells me I'm good. Yes, L.A. I cannot see. Thank you for mentioning that on social media. There'll be some laughs there. 1st down now for the Maroon. As the clock is running down, 24 seconds left to go in the 3rd. Shoulders, throws down the middle of the field again, but no, almost picked off again. He lost the free safety. That's supposed to be the read that he makes anyway every time. The Bulldog offense is designed for the quarterback to have only 2 reads. One of them is the safety.
And see, this is where inexperience with your wide receivers come in. Because Terrell is a faster wide receiver, you can kind of throw him to that space, and he'll be able to go and get it.
Good job, and now Terrell Gardner will make his way back to the line of scrimmage after running about 60 yards. That's why you run all those sprints in practice at the end when you're tired. So if you had to run down the field, we got to run it back again. You can run and then get back and not slow you down when you get to your hurry-up offense. Trip receivers to the near side, tight end to the left. To the far. Eaglin, no, not. That's my homeboy in at running back. Tucker bounces the ball off like he's dribbling it off the ground. It comes right back up, but he's still going to lose yardage on the play. Malone, that is.
I felt that one from all the way up here, Ted. That's a tough one. That was just a tough play with the exchange between the quarterback and center. Ball loose there on the floor. He's going to have to pick it up, and you would like to see him just go ahead and not fight. You live to see another day.
That will be the end of the third period. White still up on the Maroon, 22-8. This is the Alabama A&M Sports Network.
Went
Welcome back to the Alabama A&M Sports Network. Spring 2023 game. Maroon trailing the White 22-8. Tucker back to pass. He's trying to get some of that back. He throws the middle of the field in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That's the worst play that Gardner's made in years. They hit him right in his hand.
But see, that's exactly what we were talking about during the previous quarter at the end. We said, hey, you can throw Terrell open and he'll be able to try to get to that spot and grab it. You always just put it in play for him to be able to get it. You don't need to throw him to the direct spot. Just throw him open.
First time I heard that phrase, throw them open, was out of James Spady's mouth, former head coach here at Alabama A&M, and is on the staff at FAMU. Coach has had some health issues. We wish him well. We understand he is recovering. But, you know, from what he went through, it takes a minute. But our prayers go out to you. Easter weekend, folks. Happy Easter. Going to hunt Easter eggs after this.
If they haven't been blown away, of course.
Someone told me the other day that when he was growing up, my yard guy, Mr. Poole, what's happening, Mr. Poole? That one Easter, someone said, we can't find the eggs, Mama. They hid them in the snow too deep.
You ever had a white Easter, Ted? And I'm not talking about the fish. I'm talking about, you ever seen a white Easter? It's not the,
no,
it's not
brother.
the most exciting.
No.
It's not the most exciting when you have to wear boots or you can't wear a certain color suit because the snow may affect it.
First and 10 for the White from the 44 of the White. And now a handoff running the sweep to the far side. B number, show me your jersey, son. We can give you some love. Is that number 3, White? Jacoby Hewitt, senior wide receiver, 6'1", 210 out of Memphis. When it says senior, I'm thinking he transferred.
Looking to bring some of that vet presence onto this outlaw team. There's going to be a lot of guys stepping up in that room this year, Ted.
First and 10 from the Maroon 46. We're going to hand it off again right up the middle. Stacked up is the running back, but he'll make it down to the 43 of the Maroon. Yes, sir. That's number 25 again. No, that's another 25, is it? Nope, 23, thank you. Justin Pinckney, sophomore safety, 6'10", white team.
No, Ted, that looked like it was number 36 there in Mark Anthony Gray.
There you go, because he has played today. You just like saying that name because he's from Ohio.
Listen, no. There's no Ohio bias. There's no Ohio bias. I just saw the number, and I just wanted to – that's all. I just wanted to show the love to the right way, the right person.
Second and 6 for the White. Another handoff again. And that will be your homeboy again. Nope, we're back to number 30. DeVero Moffitt from Phoenix City. He'll take it down to, they'll say, around the 37. Short of a first down. They have to get to the 36. 38 is where he at.
Just going to work, trying to work into that clock, of course. But now, new face on the field, new quarterback, and they're working him in as well. And that's going to be a number 17, Howard Thornton, a freshman out of Columbus, Ohio. Listen, that wasn't set up. I just was looking to help you out. That's all. That's it. That was a setup. I feel like you set me up on that one.
Thornton is going to hand it off. He's had a couple of passes in the first half that didn't look good, but now he's getting his feet up under him, but he'll hand it off. That looks like it might be his best option. The result play will be down to the 36-yard line, and that will be a Bulldog first down. Ohio to Ohio that time, right?
That's right. As if it was like a meal at Swenson's, and all of my Ohioans get that one. That's right. We're going to have to take you out there. We know Back in the day, we had that Legacy Classic over in Canton, Ohio.
That's right.
Coach Fred Ferry was able to introduce you guys to the Po Boys, the Polish boys, the Polish dogs, if you will. And now we're going to have to introduce you to Swenson's.
Now the New Orleans folks are going to tell you po' boys come from New Orleans.
Now hear us out.
First
We know they got Po Boys, but we got the Polish boys. if you
First
will.
and 10 for the white from the maroon 36. Hand it off again, and no running room on that side. And defense trying to strip the ball away, but the play was whistled dead. He'll lose a yard on that. Back to the 37-yard line. It'll be second down and 11. We come back after they decide to send the ball back. That's Maroons number 10, Shaquem Gloucester Pace, the redshirt junior defensive end, 6'4", 220. Here's a name for you, Opelika, Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's a name on it. That's a name on that city. But it's good to see the big fella be able to get there into the backfield. This defense was just 7th in run defense. They were able to figure it out after that non-conference schedule, which was really hard, and people were criticizing this Bulldog team and writing them off after that.
Of course, the reason you play those games is not only for money but for film. Thornton's going to hand it off again. That's 30, but the ball's on the ground. Maroon thought they might have had it, but it looks like it bounced right back up to the waiting arms of Moffitt. So White will retain possession, but the gain on the play, or the result of the play, will be down to the 30-yard line. Call it third down now and 4 for the White. I want to say hello to our sports information director, Jordan Benson, whose dad, Reggie, used to write for the Huntsville Times here. Jordan got good training, as he said in the interview in the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. We're happy to have him. We understand that assistant SID will be on site the 15th of the month.
Welcome back, Jordan. Welcome back. It's great to see him back here. As I was a younger guy growing up, I was able to learn a lot from Jordan during his first stint here with the Maroon and White.
Hand off again. There's Moffitt. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bulldogs. DeVero Moffitt with the touchdown. We'll call it a 26-yard run. No, 31-yard run.
Nice run by the running back. As I thought for a second that he was starting to feel that fatigue, this was a great test to see for him, as we'll go later into the season and he'll get these type of reps. Can he power through them and help the Bulldogs get in for 6?
I'm feeling very good about the summer coming up, what we have. Of course, everybody likes their team at the beginning of the season. Coach Maynard will tell you. But, you win championships in the spring and the summer. You don't win them in November. Extra point attempt coming on for the White. We have someone coming on late. They're going to hold up play. That's number 42, Barry White, the freshman tight end, 6'1", 190 pounds out of Birmingham.
And see, they like to use him as a batting ram, if you will, almost in a full-back position. When we see him on the field, better believe someone's going to be feeling those shoulder pads.
2 receivers to the far side. Now the slot will go in motion. The slot will get the handoff on the sweep. He'll cut up. Extra point conversion is good.
Nice. And as I said, you use 42 as that batting ram, to a lead blocker, if you will. And seeing these receivers coming on sweeps is a great sign as well, because it demonstrates how much speed we have with this outlaw wide receiver room.
Jacoby Hewitt, the senior wide receiver out of Memphis. And now 4 minutes, 29 seconds left to go in the game. The clock has been running in the fourth quarter, only stopping after a score. White trailing. No, White leading 32-8. Maroon got some work to do. This is the Alabama Sports, the Alabama A&M Sports Network. Welcome back to the 2023 spring game. Ted Dixie along with Chauncey Sanders.
That's right.
First and 10, soon to be graduate. Makes us proud every time he's in front of the camera. Handoff from Tucker. No, not Tucker at quarterback now. It's number 13. Xavier Wright is at quarterback for the Maroon. He'll hand that off. Number 13, as a quarterback, I thought Mr. McIntosh, who I could suddenly hear now. His wife, Pat, does the spotting for him, or his son, Ronnie.
And that run came from Jeffrey Rouser, the sophomore running back out of Birmingham, Alabama. We're going to see a lot of speed now with the change at quarterback.
2nd and 4. Handoff again, the white defense. Oh, my goodness, someone came down the line from the safety position, and they brought some wood when they got there and dropped him straight to the ground. One thing we had a problem with last season. I heard Coach Hank Harris, who's our equipment manager, football operations. You got to wear the right shoulder pads. Stop trading shoulder pads. Stop tackling with your shoulders. Put the people on the ground. But that time, it was a combination of both. Form tackling. Let's call it 3rd down and 3 for the Maroon. Wright looking to the sideline for the play call. Coach Matt throws his hands up.
Well, I see Coach Maynard throwing his arms up back there. I wonder what he's keeping his eye on during this snap.
Well, he gets to watch the student athletes, but also his coaching staff. Right, quick pass, but it's behind his intended receiver. If that's on time and on target, number 14 is still running. That's Nicholas Lee, a junior wide receiver, 5'5" out of Birmingham, Alabama.
First throw of the game for him. I would love to see them go for it on this down.
Might as well. 2:53 left to go in the ball game. You're trailing 30-8. What do you have to lose? Put some pressure on yourself. It could be the end of the game. You could have an opportunity to be down, and you've got to convert this 4th down. So take a shot, Coach. It looks like that's what they're going to do. The offense stays on the field. Coach Mize going to slap his hands together. Wright's going to approach the line of scrimmage. He's going to call the play. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Bulldog white defense will counter with press coverage on the far side, zone on the near. Wright trying to scramble around.
I didn't like it.
Boy, right. He's going to learn that one day. As soon as he gets popped, you got to call the right protection. If you don't, you might be answering that telephone in November.
Well, it looked like they were in the protection for a pass, and he went to make a run because there wasn't much there. We called that a coverage sack, and that's just an unfortunate time for the Maroon.
2 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the ball game. White leading 30-28. We said we want to come out of this game without an injury, but we've got one to check on. Mohamed Elezazi, redshirt junior out of Winnebago, Wisconsin. Do they make Winnebagos there?
Listen, man, Wisconsin's a great state. I know they're known for a lot there with
Cheese.
A lot of breweries and cheeses, of course, and we're hoping for the best for the big fella transfer from Western Michigan.
Your sweet mate. 1st and 10 for the White. 1:26 on the clock running. So maybe in one of the last couple of plays we have someone run on the field late. The officials are going to tell them, son, during the season, if you run on late, that's okay. But the problem is if somebody's out there and you have to replace them, that might be a problem. Now he'll go into the slot. Thornton drops the ball. Now he picks it up. He looks and tries to throw. He threw his pass right over the heads of all the linemen. Great awareness. He ends up hitting his guy from Birmingham. I had his name. Goodness. But good play and good conversion, but there's a flag on the field, and that's probably – they're pointing to the defense. But maybe the official was telling him where the spot of the foul was. But the flag is supposed to mark that. So let's see what the call is. It's a personal foul. Face mask.
And they're going to decline it. But, Ted, what I liked there was it was a broken play, pass hits the ground, quarterback is able to have the awareness to keep going, forget about the mistake, it makes the perfect pass.
Absolutely. So we will get 48.2 seconds. This may be the last play of the game. But knowing Coach Connell Maynor, excuse me, I didn't say that right, Connell Maynor, he may want them to go ahead and try to act like this is a real game situation, but the clock has started. Thornton's going to drop that ball again, and they're going to whistle a sack and throw a flag, but the clock is still running. That was the last snap. Nope, they're going to stop it. So we will get another play. It was 1st and 10.
And we're going to see head coach Connell Maynor make his way over to both teams because I think he saw enough with that snap.
They're going to call it. Good job today. The White will defeat the Maroon 30-8. If there's a player of the game, it has to be Langford. We said we wanted some offensive leadership. Well, Langford looks like he's had it. He's improved his passing game. He had a couple of decent plays. We always know he can run the football. His attitude is one that we need coming into the summer. You may be wondering about Quincy Casey, but Chauncey has been with him, and you saw him working out, so we're trying to get him healthy as well. But, of course, it looks like the schemes and the base plays that we want to run are there, Chauncey.
I was absolutely encouraged from what I saw today in the spring game. Ted, I like your pick for Langford as he had a lot of connections between him and Hambrick. I love that dynamic that they're growing right now. But I believe the players of the game were the defensive lines, and not just from the white team, but from the maroon as well, as they were able to get after the quarterback. It was a live scrimmage, so they were able to get there in the backfield and get their hands dirty, and we saw that on full display today. They were able to change the entire game, and that's what we want to see going into the regular season. Can this defensive line change a game for us? We know there's plenty of missing players coming into this season as Dre Terry has now moved on and so many others. How can this team improve without those guys filling those voids? And it looked like we were impressed today with them doing so.
We say here at Alabama A&M University, start here, go anywhere. Anthony Lanier, who started playing basketball here, ended up just playing football only. He is now the highest paid defensive player in the Canadian Football League. Congratulations to you, Big Cat is who I call him. Some folks call him Spoon because he was always stirring up. Folks, that will do it for us. So for Mr. Chauncey Sanders, I'm Ted Dixie, and for Michael Mourns and the rest of his crew here, on behalf of the President, Board of Trustees, faculty and staff at Alabama A&M University, the students, thank you all for listening, and we will be lit. We'll talk to you again on Fan Day in August. Please look on all the social media accounts to get that information. So thank you all for listening. We appreciate you. Happy Easter. He is risen. This is the Alabama A&M Streaming Network.